All right. How goes it?
It goes well. How are you?
I'm good. A little tired, but I'm good.
Yeah. So you ready to do this?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's start the show. So, hi. Welcome to the Violet Hour podcast. I'm Nicole,
And I'm Dennis.
and this is a podcast that deals with the mysterious.
And the mundane.
Glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about diamonds, or one very specific diamond that has been fascinating people for centuries, 400 to be exact, and that is what is known today as the Hope Diamond. And you might remember it or something like it from the movie Titanic. And I think if this diamond been on the Titanic, it would have sunk for sure because it's brought some bad luck to some of its owners.
You mean to tell me that it wasn't on the Titanic when it sunk?
No, it wasn't. That was just
Oh.
like dramatized.
I actually do have a story behind the Titanic and
You
why
do?
and why it sunk.
Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I listened to there's another guy that I watch on YouTube. His name is Mr. Ballin, Mr. Ballen, and this was like a couple months ago. He talked about that there was a guy that was supposed to be on the Titanic, and somehow he got caught off the boat. I can't remember the specific episode and show that he had, but that guy had the keys for that. So, but yeah, it was kind of creepy. It was kind of weird. The way that
Yeah, the keys for what?
it was something like for like I guess the ship has some kind of special lights or something, but I can't remember.
Oh, like lights that would have prevented them from like
I
from
can't.
hitting ice.
Maybe I don't know. But
Random.
yeah, it's random. I know it has nothing to do with the Hope Diamond. But
Okay.
sorry,
No, that's okay.
I might have to
I wanna
get.
hear- yeah, I wanna
Yeah,
hear that
I'll
story.
bring it up. But it was very interesting.
So, I mean, I think most people know what the Hope Diamond is. If you don't, you can go see it. It's like at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., this Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian. But anyway, it is a diamond that is a beautiful blue color. It's 45 carats and it's about the size of a walnut today. But whether or not you believe in curses, the Hope Diamond has a long and storied history that can definitely maybe convince you that perhaps it is true. So, this jewel is believed to have originated in India, probably from the Kolir mine in Golconda, sometime during the 1600s. In 1630, a French gem merchant named Jean Baptiste Tavernier began making a series of voyages from France to India to trade in the precious stones. Like that was his deal. And so, anyway, he comes back to France, and sometime between like 1640 1667 he has obtained a 115 carat blue diamond, and that's like about the size of your fist, babe. So like a man's fist would be 115 carats, so it's a huge stone, and it was somewhat triangular in shape, and it was crudely cut and described by Tavernier as having a beautiful blue violet color. So Tavernier documented his travels and the gems he collected like pretty good, but he did not say where he got this gem from. And in his book called The Unexplained, author Carl Schuker relates the origin of this jeopardist, jeopardist gem, saying that it was essentially taken from a Hindu temple, and it was plucked from like a god, like a statue's like eye, or one of their eyes or something. And so the priest who did this was like cursed, and he basically died an agonizing death. But like we don't know if that's true or not. But doesn't this sound like an Indiana Jones movie? Like it's like straight out of like the
Yeah.
Temple of Doom or whatever. Like,
Yeah, but in the Indiana Jones movie, he was not cursed for finding treasure.
Indiana wasn't, but like all the people like that were stealing the curses.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
like not stealing
Yeah.
the curses, stealing the stuff, right?
Well, I mean, the story with the Hope Diamond goes that is based on your intention, and like how what your intentions
Right,
are.
like Indiana always had good
So
intentions.
exactly. So
So
yeah.
moral of the story: do
Yep.
good, people. So anyway, like we don't know if it's true. I mean, it could be, right? But the diamond finally made its way to Europe and debuted in 1642 when Tavernier sold it to King Louis the 14th. And yes, that is the Sun King. So in his book, The Unexplained, Schuker said that Tavernier, was mauled by a pack of wild dogs. Um, but I don't think that's true because other reports say that he went on after he sold all these jewels and he bought a nice house and lived in a long and prosperous life to old age. So we're going to like believe that story. But the curse, according to this legend, it follows the owner or anyone who comes in contact with the diamond. And so King Louis the 14th, like, he bought this diamond and he had his court jeweler, Jean Pitou, recut it to a smaller size. So it became 69 carats, which is basically the size of a pigeon's egg, I guess, according to my research. But it's still like, and it was triangular in shape, so it really caught all the light. And it was beautiful. And he would wear it in a ribbon around his neck for like ceremonial purposes. And the Sun King wore this a while. And, he didn't really have too much bad luck apart from like all of his kids dying except for one, which I mean, that is really bad luck, but it's also like normal for the time. And he had a lot of ailments like diabetes and gout and stuff like that. But again, not entirely uncommon. So something kind of like he had like a mistress that people like would call the true queen because like she was really smart and into politics and would stay abreast of all these things. But there's like this really risque painting of her wearing the diamond. And so I'll post that on our Instagram, like with this show, because it's like actually really cool. So Louis the 14th was the longest reigning French monarch. He reigned for like over 72 years, and is remembered for elevating the French monarchy to its peak of absolute power. And he made France the dominant power in Europe for the time. And his reign is also associated with French culture and art. King Louis, the Sun King, is dead. And with that, kind of like the golden age of France, because his heir was a child when he passed. And so once he took the throne, he was kind of a douchebag and he wasn't a very good king. Like we're talking about, like, I think it was like the 7 Years' War, and he got like into a lot of debt. But he had the stone remade into like another piece of jewelry that he wore, and his son wore King Louis the 16th. And King Louis the 16th, I mean, I don't know if like you can call this part of the curse, but he lost his crown and his head along with Marie Antoinette during the French Revolution. So I mean, that's some bad luck right there.
Let them eat cake.
She never said that. Cake. But yeah, so and it's not even like I couldn't find no confirmed reports of Marie Antoinette ever actually wearing the jewelry either. But it was definitely part of the crown jewels because after the revolution and after they were killed, they were put on display for everybody to see. Like, it's kind of really a French thing to do. And then they were stolen. Like, they completely disappeared. And when Napoleon came around, he swore up and down that he would recover the French jewels. But much like his attempt at like world domination, he failed, and he was never able to find that gemstone again.
Well, he technically didn't fail. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying about the world domination piece. I mean, I digress here, but he kind of conquered a lot.
He
But
did,
yeah,
but no,
yeah, yeah.
he didn't. He
But
didn't.
I
He didn't get
just
to become emperor of the
yeah.
United European States
No, I
or
understand.
whatever he
I
wanted.
understand.
Okay, so
Now, I do have a question.
yes,
So, I know that all these curses and stories and stuff. So, I know part of the fable relating, associated with this, with the Hope Diamond, it pretty much links to the cardinal greed, the cardinal sin of greed,
cardinal sin.
Yes.
Understand? Yeah, I mean maybe
I
like
mean,
if the owners are like
is that wrong? Cardinal sin of greed, isn't that what?
cardinal. No, no, I just
That's what I mean.
I didn't understand what you were going. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if people who are self-interested and only care about themselves, or like narcissistic, maybe only make bad choices, and that leads to bad luck, as we'll see. Um, because the diamond disappeared for like 20 years after that. Like it was not anywhere to be found until it showed up again. At least they believe it did on King George the Fourth.
So there's no
There's
like historic information from like it was just hidden in a vault or something.
no, yeah,
or?
it was just like kind of kept hush hush because like they think it was stolen and then quickly scurried away across the what is that little bit of water between Paris and England? The channel.
The Atlantic?
No, there's like like that little bit of water.
The English Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
body of water.
I'm not good with geography.
Between the
or directions
France
or anything. So yeah, so the French blue diamond, as it was also called at this time, was gone. It was disappeared for like 20 years.
Wow.
Until a 45-carat blue diamond turned up in London in 1812. And this was in possession of a diamond merchant named Daniel Eliason. Of course, he, like Tavernier, didn't say where it came from, but it was speculated that this was the diamond and it had been cut down to hide its true ownership.
So it went from how big now?
So it
100?
It was initially 115 carats, and then it got cut down to like 60 something, and now it's down
at 45.
To 45. I'm like, I want to know where all those other little baby diamonds are. Oh, maybe it's the one that like Princess Diana has, and then now
I don't know.
Catherine, Duchess Catherine, because her diamond is blue. I wonder, wouldn't that be crazy?
I'm not sure. I'm not.
I know. I have no idea. Like I'm just
I'm not too
speculating
familiar
here.
in how they.
But I know her diamond
diamonds,
is blue, and it's very pretty. So anyway,
well, they're cursed. Diana died. So she's got a cursed diamond.
Well, let's hope they're not wearing the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying now I'm going to speculation and conspiracy theory here.
If it's all like part of the whole diamond.
If it's part of the whole diamond.
Yeah. So King George the Fourth, there are paintings of him wearing it, and it is a very blue stone. When he died in 1830, he was like in major debt, and so that diamond was sold off to help cover some of his debts. So, and that's when the Hope family got possession of this diamond. So we're now like around 1839. And Henry Philip Hope, he was a collector of fine art and gems, and he acquired the diamond, and that's how we know of it today. That's how that's why we call it the Hope diamond. And Henry Philip died a bachelor, and so his diamond, like that diamond, went to his nephews, and it went to his oldest nephew, who he had one daughter, and so she got it then. She had 5 children. Hold on, no, I'm messing up. No, I think all these people with the same name. So okay, it went to his oldest nephew, Henry Thomas Hope, and he had one daughter, but when he died, the Hope Diamond stayed in the possession of his widow, not any of his children. And then it later went on to her, one of her grandchildren, Lord Francis Hope. And he inherited it in 1887. So we went from the 1600s and now we're in the 1800s. And so people like kind of know that this diamond has like this crazy history, but I think they're pretty much ignoring it. So his grandson, he lived again like way beyond his means, but that didn't stop him from marrying an American concert hall singer, and her name was Mary Yohe. And by the time he married her, he was like completely bankrupt, but they still partied and lived a very luxurious life until he squandered everything that he had except for this diamond. And so one day, like they were traveling around or whatever, and she met in 1900 a captain from America, the United States Army, and she fell in love with him, and she like totally left her husband.
Oh my God.
She was like, I'm not coming back to England with you. I'm going home to America.
So she left him with
She
the diamond.
left him. Yeah,
with the diamond.
right. But there is like, she says, yeah, I wear that diamond all the time, and like, you know, whatever. So because of all his gambling and stuff like that, he wanted to sell this diamond to like help pay off like his debts.
He can't sell it. She took it with him.
No, she didn't take it. She didn't take it. She just she left.
She gave it to him.
She left.
So luckily that GI or whatever that she fell in love with.
Yeah, he got her.
He didn't die.
Not that I could find.
Well, with the curse of the.
Well, yeah.
diamond.
I mean, he never touched it, so it's fine.
Oh.
But so he couldn't sell this diamond. Like his siblings were like, hell no, you're not selling that diamond. That's part of our family history and whatever, right? And so it took like a lot of years and a lot of court appeals, and they finally went to like the House of Lords, and they gave him permission to sell it. And that is when
So why wouldn't they sell it? The guy's broke. He's got all this debt.
But his siblings, they're like, just
But who
because you
cares?
squandered your fortune doesn't mean you're gonna like mess up this. Like they were fighting him. They wanted the diamond.
So the diamond was part of the family heirloom.
That's
Is
how.
that what they're saying?
Like that's what I gathered. Like they wanted it because
Gotcha.
you know, like hello.
So pretty
this
much
is
they
like
wanted to keep it within the family and not try to get rid of
because
it
it's
to
like a
pay
legitimate form of wealth
this guy's debt.
that he was like drinking away and partying away, and traveling all around the world.
Okay.
So and that's when in 1901 that's when the diamond made its way to America. But like on a side note, like you want to talk about bad luck. So this guy Hope, he remarried in 1904, and he inherited the dukedom from I guess one of his brothers in 1928. But right after his wife left him, he like lost a foot in a hunting accident, and he died a poor man in 1941 at the age of 75. So I'm like not that very old, and you know his life of self-indulgence didn't quite cater to him, I guess. And his wife, who left him for the army captain, that relationship obviously didn't last long because why would it? And she worked as an actress or whatever, but she ended up becoming a housekeeper and a clerk and died in poverty in 38 at the age of 72. Yeah, so
That's
again,
sad.
like
It's
poor
tragic,
life,
man.
poor life decisions or
Jesus.
bad luck because of the stupid diamond. Who
No.
knows?
I'm
Maybe
gonna
a little
go.
bit,
Hey, I'm gonna go with bad luck because of the stupid diamond.
right?
So they touched it. The cardinal sin of greed.
Agreed. Maybe you're just
So,
like
mm,
selfishness,
I
right?
don't
Not
know.
caring about.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the cardinal sins of greed and the curse of the diamond. Anyone that touches it, like you said earlier, what's in your heart? That's
Right.
what it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So in 1901, the diamond made its way all the way across the Atlantic to the United States when an American jeweler named Simon Frankel, he bought it. And at this point, it changes hands several times, including it was owned by a Turkish sultan who, after he acquired the gem, lost his, he was dethroned, I guess. And then this actress named Mademoiselle Ledoux, she was an actress in the Folies Bergère, I think they were the stripping kind of things back in the day.
Moulin Rouge.
No, like Follies. Like she was an actress.
Oh.
But I think it was like a stripping. She wore the diamond, like her Russian, like this Russian prince, Kanitovsky. Again, I don't pronounce names very good, but she wore it, and he gave it to her to wear, rather. And the first time she wore it on stage, she's shot while she's on stage, while she's wearing the diamond. And they think it
What
was...
do you mean she shot?
Like she was shot and killed.
Oh, she was shot and killed.
Yeah, like while she was acting on stage,
First time
wearing
the diamond.
The first time wearing the diamond, yeah. And it's believed that he killed her.
Hold on, so he shot her?
Yeah, like I got like different reports that it was someone in the audience, but they think it's him. So he ended up, I guess, going back to France, or maybe this happened in France. I guess Follies, yeah, maybe. Couldn't figure that out. And then he was killed. He was stabbed in Paris during the French Revolution. So
he was stabbed
because he was part of the Russian, like during the Russian Revolution, because the French Revolution already passed, right? Like that's already passed. Now we're in the Russian Revolution in the early 1900s, and he was part of the Russian monarchy. So when they killed, I don't know. Well, no, maybe that's not the right time. No, I think I'm too soon. Yeah, I'm like 20 years, 15 years too soon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So okay,
no,
so
actually,
okay,
no,
so
like,
let me get this straight. So let me get this straight. So the guy.
I didn't get the year.
So the guy had
right.
So the lady, the actress lady, she had the necklace, and she was shot on stage
wearing the
necklace.
Yeah, sad, right? Like
because
she just wanted to look pretty in diamonds. Hello, diamonds are girl's best friend, but apparently not here.
Marilyn Monroe.
So then
touched the whole diamond too. She's dead.
So then after that whole thing happened with like the Russian dude dying and like getting killed.
Hold on, did he get killed or he killed himself?
He got killed. He was murdered. He was stabbed in France, in Paris. Yeah.
Like he was robbed or something, or was he just like randomly?
The way
targeted?
I understand it is that he was targeted because of the revolution. So
because he was part of the Russian government or whatever.
He was the aristocrat, like so he would have been in line for to become the czar or whatever.
Well, he was part of the government. Yeah. Okay, I got
like
it.
with Anastasia and like all them.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1910, Pierre Cartier, he bought the gem. And then he was like, oh my God, I'm going to sell this. So I'm going to like really play up this whole curse thing.
Well, actually, I did a little more reading on that too.
Oh, really?
So Pierre Cartier, he invested a pretty big amount of money into that.
Right. You haven't, I'm like still working on the story.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you're making this. Okay, cool.
So he bought the gem.
As I were.
Mind your business. So he bought the gem. And he wanted to sell it. And he thinks he finds the perfect buyer in this lady named Evelyn McLean. And if you live in the Northern Virginia area, you're really familiar with that name because there's like a town and stuff, right? And her family owned the Washington Post, and they were like in oil and on all kinds of stuff. So she was like, I'm not into it. Like, this is too old fashioned. Like, it's ugly. I didn't like it. So he resets it into what it looks like today. He puts all these like beautiful diamonds around it. And then she's like,
yeah, let me tell you, if you've never seen the whole diamond in person, I know we have. We've been to the Smithsonian, and this was like about maybe 10 years ago the first time we saw it, and it is fascinating looking.
No, and like if you put like this, you change the light. I forget what kind of light it is. It shines red.
It changes color. Yeah, due to the boron, the chemical, whatever it is.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. But yeah, so it's like really cool.
It's fascinating because it changes. It's supposed to be white.
Depending on the light.
But because depending on the light, whatever type of light that it hits it reflects like a certain color. It looks, it's a beautiful looking,
it's gorgeous
piece of
it's amazing.
gem. Yeah.
So she sees it and she's like, oh yeah, I want to buy it. But like that lady May Yohe, the actress, that was like, she ended up, the one that left her husband for the captain, was like, don't buy this gem, like it's cursed. And even her own mother was like, or her mother-in-law was like, like this is bad juju, don't buy this. But she was like, she mocked them and she was like, oh, things that bring other people bad luck usually bring me good luck. Like she just laughed it off and was like, whatever. So they ended up buying, her husband bought the gem, but he had said like, should any fatality occur like in the contract between, the two parties, within 6 months, the Hope Diamond it said the Hope Diamond would be returned for gems of similar value. Like it would be exchanged. So Cartier would take it back if some bad luck befall, like if someone died in their family. But like it was kind of crazy because they had like some legal issues with this because like the mom really didn't want that in her family or whatever. But when Evelyn McLean got it, she wore it all the time, and she even like refused to take it off, or she would give it to like her poodle or her dog, and he would wear it. But it wasn't too long before that curse struck her too. She was not like Teflon against bad luck. And so her firstborn son, died when he was only 9 years old in a car accident. And then her daughter committed suicide. There's lots of like suicides around this diamond, I found, at the age of 25. And then her husband was declared insane and he was put into an institution. But before he done that, he left her for another woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like, like that was some.
So how soon did he leave her though?
Like maybe not too long, maybe like a couple years or.
After they purchased the diamond?
Yeah. Like, so like up until then, like, and I think it was like probably like the death of like their kids maybe and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
But like up until then, I mean, they had this like charmed life. They owned the Washington Post, which then they had to declare bankruptcy. They lost that, and like
So who owned the Post, the husband or the McLean family?
The McLean family. So I'm assuming it was like
Gotcha.
So then she had wanted her jewelry because like that was hers to go to her grandchildren when they were older, but her wishes were not withheld because 2 years after her death in 1949, all of her jewelry, including the Hope Diamond, was put up for sale.
Why was that?
To pay off debt.
Oh, so she was okay.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
So that
I think they got lucky then, because if they would have acquired that thing, her kids or whatever,
more bad luck, right?
Yeah.
So here comes along the famous American jeweler, Harry Winston. Like if you've seen any celebrities on the red carpet, they're always like, I'm wearing Harry Winston, whatever, right? So he bought the diamond in 1949. And he had really good intentions for it because he wanted to have America, like have the Smithsonian have like a natural gem collection. And so he actually donated it to the Smithsonian in
1998.
58.
Oh, 58. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it's said that it traveled in a plain brown box in registered mail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the postman who carried it, he had bad luck. Yeah. Like
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was in it. So how?
I know. That's the crazy thing. Like, yeah, I think he got into an accident and stuff.
What?
Yeah. So, but once it got on display, like once it was on display again, kind of like if you think back, like to maybe if it was on display in that Hindu temple, where it could be like admired and like, I don't know. So anyway, once it's got into the Smithsonian, it actually has done a lot of really good things for the Smithsonian. Like it's brought a lot of foot traffic to the museum and stuff like that. So and it's been nothing but good luck.
I bet it's because I weighed the hand of the diamond. No one has touched it.
They're all wearing gloves.
And it's behind a glass case.
Behind a glass case.
So
yeah.
No one has been able to touch the diamond. So it's kind of like the diamond's itching for his next victim. So whoever touches that diamond.
Gonna be me. I wouldn't chance it. I would not put that thing on for anything. So yeah. So No, it did not cause the sinking of the Titanic, but it sure as hell sunk a lot of lives in its
Yep.
day.
And actually, I'm glad that you bring that up again. So related to the beginning, when I digress about the scenario that with the Titanic. So what I was trying to get, what I was trying to say earlier was that the the guy. I mean, this has nothing to do with the Hope Diamond itself, but a lot of folks reference the Hope Diamond to the Titanic because of the movie, you know, the Titanic.
Which
But
I think that diamond in the movie was called like the heart of the sea, but it looks
well,
so much like
the
it.
thing is that the Hope Diamond was not on the Titanic
No,
when it
it was
sank.
nowhere near it.
Nowhere near it.
It was
The
in America.
Miss Evelyn McLean, who owned it, she never set sail on the Titanic
No.
at all. And when she died in around 1947, like you said, it was pretty much sold to pay off her debts, like
Yeah.
to pay off all her debts, pretty much the majority of her debts. But what I was saying earlier was that one of the guys that was on there, one of the second mates in command or whatever they call them, when he was removed from the ship, according to the story, the Mr. Ballin YouTube video, he had the keys. Like when he had to get off the boat right away, immediately. He had to carry all his bags, his goods, and then he notices like the next day or so that he had the keys to the binocular rooms. So the ship set sail without the binoculars
So
on
like
the Titanic,
the,
so they
the
couldn't
watch
see.
couldn't see.
The watch couldn't see what they were about to hit.
Wow. That poor guy. Like, can you
So,
imagine? Like
I
he
can
felt
only
guilty.
imagine. So now that I think about that, I feel like I have to do a little bit more digging about that, like, a little weird mystery. I mean, it was really short and simple and to the point. I like the way that he expressed it and the way he talked about it. But when you think about it, like the story behind something that could have been adverted, right?
Well, I mean, okay, so like an iceberg,
So
it's kind of a big thing. Like, I don't know.
it is. But I don't want to continue and digress from your story. But I just want to make sure because we brought up the Titanic, and we brought up bad luck and things being on the ship. So that right there, just that alone, I mean, it was kind of sad when I learned that. And now I'm not saying that this is the reason why the Titanic sunk, but the guy, the second mate, he felt that if he had left the keys,
they would have been. I mean, they
could have
like,
averted this
broken the lock and got in. Like,
scenario or whatever.
Right.
But you're right; they could have broken the lock, gotten into the whatever binocular room. But again, back then, those locksmiths, they did not play the way that they built things.
Yeah, that's
it was
true.
really solid.
Like,
it's not like, hey, let's go ahead and get a blowtorch and cut through this lock. So, but yeah.
That was fun. You know what? We didn't do the last show. We didn't say what we were drinking. Do you want to have a drink for this one? I feel like because it's.
Well, for this show, I'm drinking cranberry vodka.
But I feel like this one you need like a blue Long Island iced tea or something.
Nothing blue, nothing related to that whole diamond. Nothing blue. I don't want nothing that's gonna curse me.
You don't want no gin.
Gin and tonic
Anything
or
like British drinks.
anything that brings me home. Opposite of it.
Alrighty. Well,
I'll go with a vodka, Russian vodka or something. I don't know. Something far away from this diamond.
Right. So that ends my story of this maybe cursed, maybe not diamond. What do you think? Do you think it's cursed?
I believe in things like that. So I believe it is cursed. One, because if it is true that it was stolen from a temple,
that's bad juju.
That's bad juju, and normally that comes along with it. The sad thing is that this thing continues to be. I mean, from that time until now, I mean, it's kind of like an essentialized location. I believe for this juju to be broken, my personal opinion, this diamond needs to be returned back to India.
Right, but we don't know if it was stolen or not. Like,
That's
if it was
my personal
legally
opinion.
purchased.
No, it was not legally purchased.
We don't know that. We don't know that
But
because
we
the
don't.
guy
Well,
Tavernier,
the only thing that we
he
know
bought.
is, yeah, Tavernier
He
bought it, and then he
yeah.
got tore apart by wild dogs.
No, he didn't. He died in his 80s on a resort.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Tavernier died. Like he got
He
tore
died an
apart.
old man. That was in a book that I said, but he did not
Oh.
actually, die.
Well, all I know is this. All I
Lies.
know
There's lots of mystery around this.
there is a lot. There is lots of.
I think
You're right.
I think
That's
it's just
that's from the story that I read it too. Saying
I
they
think
died
it's
from
just
wild dogs. But what I'm saying is, back then, a lot of treasures from foreign
we're still like Egypt.
were
Hello.
taken.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they were they were, they were, the how can I put it? The British Empire or whatever
Right. Yeah.
will go across the globe, and they would just go ahead and collect all kinds of treasures and stuff, and bring it back to London and have it in the museums and stuff.
I think at this point,
I just find
I
it.
think at this point, like it's been 400 years, and like it's been passed through, like it's
400 years. So you
from the
think that? So you
1600s.
think it's okay that the curse has been wiped?
No, what I'm saying is
How's
it's
that?
hard.
I mean, I don't
it's
think
hard
I
to
don't
know.
think
Like,
it matters
so
how long it's been. It's cursed. It's cursed.
it's on display. No one's owning it now. Like it belongs to
Not
this
to us.
museum.
It shouldn't belong to the Smithsonian. It should go back to India.
I disagree.
I mean, I don't know if the temple even still exists or not, but
No, like
you don't know that.
I don't know. I don't even know what temple he like. If it had gotten stolen by a priest in some Hindu temple in like, how would you know? Like, where would you even know? Like,
Well, the story started with that's where it came from. That the jewel.
it's believed that it could have been stolen, but like again, that we don't know if Cartier made all this up just to propagate the sale of this thing.
He
That
didn't
was-
make all this up.
That's what I read. Yes, like that. A lot of people say
But it all
that Cartier
started with-
made this all up.
Well, maybe. I
So-
guess. If he did, it's a hell of a story. But last time I recall, prior to Cartier acquiring this, people were
People were getting
decapitated,
beheaded. People were
getting
killing
shot.
themselves. Like,
So
yeah, there was a lot of bad
so
luck around
I don't
it.
know
Like,
about that.
but tell us in the comments on Instagram,
Yes, please let us know what you think about this.
the Violet Hour podcast. All right.
It's been fun.
Till next time.
Good night.